Welcome to the OK Let's Learn podcast. This is where we dive into books and stories with our OK Book Club, and we learn about people and tons of different topics. So today, OK, let's learn and listen together to another Greek myth. This one is called Theseus and the Minotaur. Long ago, in ancient Greece, there lived a boy named Theseus. Theseus did not grow up like other boys. He was raised far from the great city of Athens in a quiet place where he learned to be strong, brave, and fair. His mother taught him to tell the truth and to stand up for others, even when it was difficult. As Theseus grew older, his mother told him something very important. You, son, are the son of the ruler of Athens. His name is King Aegeus. When Theseus was strong enough, he set out on a long journey to Athens to meet his father. Yes, for the first time. When Theseus finally stood before King Aegeus, the king looked closely at him, and he knew the truth. Father and son were reunited at last. But Theseus quickly noticed that something troubling was on the horizon. There was something going on that was not good about Athens. The people looked worried and melancholy and downtrodden. King Aegeus explained why. You see, across the sea lay an island that was called Crete, and it was ruled by King Minos. Years earlier, King Minos' son had traveled to Athens. While visiting, there was a terrible accident, and the young man never returned home to Crete. King Aegeus explained that it had not been planned and it was not done on purpose. It wasn't Athens' fault. But King Minos did not believe him, and he did not forgive him. He was furious. To punish Athens, King Minos made a demand, a cruel demand. Every 9 years from that point forward, a ship from Crete would arrive in Athens with black sails. The black sails were a terrible sign. That meant that it was time for Athens to send 7 boys and 7 girls to Crete. You see, this was also a terrible sign because it meant that when the black sails returned, nobody returned. The 7 boys and 7 girls that went to Crete, you knew, were not coming home. You see, these children were taken to this island and sent into a giant maze called a labyrinth. Inside the labyrinth lived a monster called the Minotaur, a creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull. No one who entered the labyrinth ever returned. As King Aegeus spoke, Theseus felt his anger rising inside him. This must stop, Father. It is wrong. When the black sail ship returned again and again, Theseus, at some point, made a brave decision. Father, I will go with the children. I will face the Minotaur. King Aegeus begged his son not to go, but Theseus would not change his mind. If I return alive, my father, I will change the sails of our ship to white, so you will know that I am safe. When the ship arrived and reached Crete, the children were brought before King Minos as always. Nearby, this time, however, stood his daughter, Princess Ariadne. The princess looked at this brave individual. She had never seen anything like this. It was in his eyes that she saw something different, something daring, something admirable. But King Minos, he saw none of this. What he said out loud, "It is fitting that the son of the king of Athens should not return to his home, my friend, as my son did not return to his." Theseus went right back at King Minos. "It is more fitting that the son of the king of Athens should end this horrible business once and for all." You see, Ariadne, while this was all happening, she felt certain that this gentleman was somehow different than all the others that had come before the king. For the first time, she believed someone might actually defeat the Minotaur. But Ariadne also knew something important. Even if Theseus defeated the Minotaur, no one could escape the labyrinth alone. So Ariadne went to someone very wise to help. She went to Daedalus. You see, Daedalus was not only a famous inventor and builder, he was the one that designed the labyrinth from the beginning. He knew every twist and every turn and every hidden path. Daedalus felt sorry for the children of Athens and wanted secretly for them to escape. So when Daedalus heard from Ariadne, he came up with a plan. That night, both of them, in secret, designed a plan. Daedalus had told Ariadne, "It's impossible. You can't sneak a weapon into this maze. The guards are going to find it. They're going to remove it. And that's going to trace it back to you, Ariadne." Her chin dropped to the floor. She looked shocked. At that moment, she was afraid, but she went through with the plan. You see, if Theseus was as brave as she thought he was, he may still have a chance of defeating this Minotaur. At least we can help him. At least we can help him. If he defeats the Minotaur, we can help him get back out of the labyrinth. What do you think? How can we do this? And it was so at that moment that Daedalus handed something to Ariadne, and she took it covertly and woke up Theseus and handed him. What did she hand him? A ball of string and a sharp sword. "Tie one end of this string at the entrance," she said. "Unroll it as you walk through the maze. After you defeat the Minotaur, follow the string back the way you came." Theseus thanked her and promised her that he would return. And it was in that moment that this princess, something that had been hiding in her for so long, and she had wished and she had hoped, and she said it out loud. "My sir, if you succeed, you must take me with you to Athens, for if my father finds out that I've helped you—" "Of course I will take you, princess," Theseus said. "Thank you." The next day, after the guards closed the gates of the labyrinth, behind the Athenians, Theseus cried out to everyone, "Wait here! Wait here! I am going to get the Minotaur. If I fail, everything will still be the same, and we will not be worse off. But if I succeed, and I will, we will all be able to return safely to Athens." So in that moment, he tied the thread to the door handle and he started unraveling it with each step as he entered the labyrinth. The maze twisted and turned. The air was dark and cold. Theseus carefully unwound the string behind him, and he walked deeper and deeper inside. And that is when he heard it. It was a low roar. He could see something ahead of him. He knew what it was. At that moment, suddenly, the Minotaur appeared before him, and he charged. The ground shook as he ran, its hoofs pounding against the floor of the labyrinth. It lowered its head and swung its horns, letting out a loud and angry roar that echoed throughout the maze. Theseus stood his ground. At the last moment, he stepped quickly aside. The Minotaur rushed past him, missed him by inches, and he crashed into the stone wall. Dust fell from the ceiling. The Minotaur turned and charged again. This time, Theseus raised his sword. He blocked the creature's attack and felt the strength of it push against him. His arms trembled, but he didn't give up. He remembered why he was there: to persevere, to be steadfast, to save the children of Athens. When the Minotaur swung its head, Theseus ducked low and rolled across the floor. He jumped to his feet just in time to avoid the creature's sharp horns. At this point, the Minotaur was livid. He grew angry, but he was tired, and his movements, Theseus noticed, were becoming slower. He saw his chance. With all his strength, Theseus stepped forward and struck. The Minotaur stumbled, let out one final roar, and fell to the ground. The labyrinth grew silent. Theseus stood still, catching his breath. Did he actually do it? He did. Hours later, as he emerged from the labyrinth, he untied the thread and he said quietly to the boys and girls of Athens, "Let's go home." That night, they escaped Crete. They went down to the harbor, and it was there that they saw the princess waiting for him. The battle against the Minotaur had been long and hard. He was exhausted. As he woke up, he could see that they were entering the port of Athens. But he made a crucial mistake. He forgot something. He forgot to change the sails. They were all safe. He had triumphed, but he forgot to change the sails to white. They were still black. The servants and the guards called out to the king. From high up on a cliff near his palace, he saw the sails. He was heartbroken. He was beside himself. He didn't know what to do. It was in that moment that he fainted and fell into the sea. Theseus was alive. He had returned, but now his father was gone. Theseus was horribly upset, filled with sorrow. He had saved so many lives, but his forgetfulness had cost him one so dearly. It was from then on that this sea was in fact called the Aegean Sea, after King Aegeus. So, the story of Theseus reminds us that bravery can change the world, but our choices, whether they're big or small, always matter. Thinking ahead, always planning, never forgetting. Listen, he learned a horrible lesson. Even the best plans can only work when we follow them carefully. And it teaches us what happened here with Theseus and the Minotaur. It teaches us that courage, kindness, and smart thinking are only working together, and they're only the strongest when every facet, when every part of the plan is followed and adhered to. Nothing is ever guaranteed in life, my friends. We can certainly take this lesson from this great myth, Theseus and the Minotaur. Thank you again for staying with us on this journey, and Over on Apple Podcast, here's another nice review. We love this podcast. Mr. O'Keefe is the best. He taught my son in second grade this past year, and it was such an amazing experience. He made school so much fun for his students and really fosters the love of learning. This podcast is no different. Can't wait to see what he creates here. This was from Mickey Bruckner. Mick, I really appreciate the kind words and the great review. Really appreciate it. Again, reach out to me at kevmok21@gmail.com for any thoughts, ideas, feedback, and definitely give me some ideas on future topics you would love to see me explore. Again, until next time, have fun and keep learning.